Enjoy the fresh outdoors. Play an important role in the lives of school-age children. Get paid to make a difference in your community. Become a crossing guard. We are currently recruiting crossing guards for the school year. We offer a competitive wage with various perks and opportunities for bonuses. Join the Ottawa Safety Council in keeping kids safe in the nation's capital. Find out more at crossing-guard.ca.
Well, of course, that's one of the many things we're going to be talking about with my next guest. She is the Executive Director of the Ottawa Safety Council, Jamie Kwong, joining me. Jamie, welcome. Great to have you in studio.
So glad to be in a studio. It's been years since I've been here.
No kidding. And look at this setup. You guys brought all this stuff along with you. We really appreciate the effort. Thank you very much. Let's start with that. You know, crossing guards, I know there's a great need. I've heard you on City News as well, speaking to Sam LaPrade, and you know, there is a great opportunity here. Let's talk about that opportunity, why it's so important.
Absolutely. So it's a way for people to give back to the community and get paid to do so. Many people think it's a volunteer job and they don't realize it's a paid opportunity. You could work 1 or 2 shifts in the day and you schedule it around your life. But basically a lot of people that sign on with us are retired or gig workers or students. So it's a perfect job for people who want to get involved in the community and also have a flexible work schedule.
Why do you think there's been such a difficulty getting crossing guards, in particular this year?
This last year has been tough with recruitment. I think everywhere has had a staffing shortage.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is we're trying to get the awareness out there as much as possible in every community newspaper, any chance we can get on the radio, opportunities like this. But it's more, I think the last few years with COVID, it's hit the sector really hard, especially frontline type of services, that people are still kind of cautious. And we're outside, so we try to keep it as safe as possible, encouraging distancing and all of that. So we are mindful of the current situation that people might be cautious of,
right,
and we try to create it as safe as possible. So hopefully with that encourages more people to come back and join us as a crossing guard.
Well, as I said off the top, this is one of the many things that you deal with at the Ottawa Safety Council. Let's talk about your role at the council. What is the role of the Ottawa Safety Council?
So the Ottawa Safety Council, we're a not-for-profit that we deal with education and services that deal with road safety. So we have our adult crossing guard program, which employs over 300 individuals, but also helps 20,000 kids get to school safely at the intersections and school zones.
Right.
We work with 4 school boards there. But we also have, I brought some little demos, we also have our new Best Foot Booster. So we noticed that there's a gap in education on how to properly fit your child in a booster seat.
Okay.
And so we want to empower kids and have them teach their parents the best practices of booster seats. We also do walk safe demonstrations and presentations in schools. So before the pandemic, we were doing over 250 presentations in schools for students as young as JK all the way to grade 6 on teaching on road safety procedures, what to do to be mindful and be safer. And we're hoping that that keeps kids safe, but later on, we hope that builds more empathic drivers and motorists as they get older.
Well, let's talk about some of the tips then. What are some of the tips that you suggest, not only for parents, but for students going to and from school in those school safety zones?
Absolutely. So you'll notice in school zones the speed is 30 to 40 kilometers. So they're all slower in those areas, and it's that for a reason. When a pedestrian and a car collide at those rates, they have a high chance of surviving. As soon as it goes higher than that, the percentage is a lot less. So you'll notice in school zones, slow down. So slow down, take away all your distractions, don't pick up your phone, put your phone away, and be mindful of what's going on. There are crossing guards, there are students, there are cyclists, there are motorcycle riders, there are school buses with kids getting off. And so it's really important that all drivers are patient and mind the crossing guards and the instructions there, that they take their time getting to where they need so that any such stops is not so much of an inconvenience, because we notice speeding is the major thing. That's our issue.
Right.
Speeding. And so paying attention, mind your speed, and leaving the distractions would be the key things I would give to motorists, that those key things are not rocket science, and yet they're so simple in making sure that everyone's safe.
Let's talk about some statistics, because recently we've seen, some collisions with cyclists and pedestrians, some of them fatal. What are we looking at so far this year when it comes to statistics?
Well, when we look at stats, the City of Ottawa collects really good detailed reports, and so they just released a report on the last 5 years. So 2016 to 2020, 131 people have been killed on our roads. That's a lot. And there's pedestrians, there's cyclists, there's motorists. They're all involved in that. And the one good thing thing about what we can do is we're all capable of preventing that, be it through better engineering, so that's at the city kind of level and the different government levels, but there's education, so that's where we try to come in and teach what's road safety. And then also the motorists, like motorists and anyone using the roads, there's tips for all of them on how they can make our roads safer. So I would like to look at 10 years from now that stat is much lower, if not zero, because we have that power to reduce that number significantly.
Well, what's the biggest thing? Is it distracted driving now? Is that the number one issue?
I think that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. Speeding is a huge thing. Yeah, absolutely. Those two key things. Aside from that, it's, yes, we have to factor in Ottawa winters and things like that. And how do we be prepared? So being prepared means having snow tires. Being prepared means giving yourself enough time so that you are not speeding and you're able to mind all the traffic regulations and speed limits. But those are the key things, and it's very simple for us to have an impact. School zones especially, they're very congested. So we're actually encouraging parents, if they can park a block away, to walk their kids that remainder of the way. And we also have a program called our Walking School Bus where we're trying to encourage.
That really caught my attention when the notes you sent along. Yeah.
If you've ever seen kids in a line and with a crossing guard at the front and the end, that's this walking school bus. And essentially, those who don't qualify for a school bus but can walk to school but aren't comfortable walking alone, we work with the school board authority, school bus authority, and we partner with them. We supply the crossing guard that assists them, and we train them to do so. But basically, they help children get to school and on a predetermined route, so it's safe, and it's a chance for kids to be outside, getting physical activity and bonding with their classmates and the crossing guard. So it's a great way to just become more part of the community and reduce congestion at the same time.
You mentioned that going into schools and doing that educational component was, obviously very important. So are you back in schools now? Oh, good.
We are rolling out our Walk Safe and our Booster Fit programs in schools. So parents can encourage their local school to have their principal administrator book us. And basically, we reach all 4 school boards. We've done 250 schools in a great year before COVID, and we're hoping to get back to those numbers. But we have a curriculum designed for everything 2-year increments, so that we go into the school and teach a ton of presentations so that we touch on every grade there, so that they're empowered with that information, and then we go back 2 years later to do the refresher as they age and they can handle more complicated terms and things like that.
Right. What about other programs that you offer at the council? We
talked about motorcycle safety before with you. So we basically are encouraging anyone interested in riding a motorcycle to take our course. It's one of those popular courses in Ottawa, and we teach everyone from someone who hasn't been on a bike to a more experienced individual, so that they're more comfortable with just refreshing their technique. But we also license people. So we are a recognized licensing body with the Ministry of Transportation. So we do the training. We have amazing instructors. They're all volunteers. They're motorcycle enthusiasts who care about road safety. And so we empower our students with all that safety knowledge. And then on our side, we want to do more public education on how everyone else can keep vulnerable road users like motorcycle riders, cyclists, pedestrians safer. So
Excellent. Jamie, really appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
pleasure.
And to Stephanie, who helped set everything up here, really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. OttawaSafetyCouncil.ca to find out more information. We'll be right back after this.